Hey, Bryce Woodard here, coming to you from southern Utah. And what you're seeing here is a picture of the home I live in now. Been in this house for about 7 years. Um, what you want to do is you want to stay on this, watch this whole video. I've got a kind of important story to tell you. Kind of a great learning opportunity, and you know just let you know that kind of never give up on your dreams and just keep pressing forward and moving ahead no matter where you're at in life. The story I'm going to talk to you today is a little bit about how I got to this house and kind of what it took, and kind of go from there. But back when I was about 25, I was just about 25. I met my wife, and I was working for Mervyn's Corporation, their distribution center. And when I met her, I just probably been on there about a year or so, not that long, but I ended up getting her on out there also. But a few years later, well, actually, just a year later after we got married, I was able to build a house. I was able to have a house built anyways. We went around, looked, and found you know basically a contractor to build a house for us in a neighborhood. About a 2,000 square foot house, about 1,400 square feet of that was finished. But it was a nice house to start with, especially brand new married, and felt pretty good about that. Well, as I was um, continuing working for Mervyn's, I really just didn't like um, the job. I wanted to start a business, so me and a friend that was working out there decided to start a 1 hour photo business, and started researching it and was able to, you know, find a location, find some used equipment, and was able to start a 1 hour photo business. Well, right after we started that business, he just got married, and his new wife that he met, really wanted nothing to do with the business. She didn't like it. She didn't want him there, and so basically, I gave him a little bit of the money back, and me and my wife took over the business. Well, mostly my wife was running that business. She would have the two young boys there at the time, and she was doing a great job and building that business. Well, I really didn't like doing what I was doing, so I ended up quitting my job and helping with the business. Well, the problem was the business wasn't making enough money yet. It was profitable, but not profitable enough to pay all our bills. Well, needless to say, I got behind on my house payments, and kind of in desperation, I knew my house was worth more. Um, if I lost it, I was losing some equity, because in the 5 years that we lived in that house, the price went up about $30,000. We bought it for about 70, and it was worth about 100, 110. And so I ended up filing Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which kind of ruined my credit, and was able to keep the house long enough to get it for sale and get it sold, at least get some equity out of it, get some money. Well, I decided to take that money and open up a franchise down in Las Vegas, kind of a bathroom resurfacing type company. And I ended up not buying the business before I left. We just ended up moving down to Vegas to see how we liked it. And when we got down there, I was able to actually, even though my credit was bad, I was actually able to assume a loan and get a house down there. Well, it took some money for me to assume that loan, and then I didn't have that much money to start the business. But what I realized is I really didn't want to be in Las Vegas. I had a few friends though that lived in St. George, Utah, which was about 2 hours north of Las Vegas, 120 miles away. And the one friend was selling water softeners, and he said he could get me a job selling water softeners. So I moved up to southern Utah, and I lived with my grandparents, who lived in a manufactured home, and they were letting me stay in a room there. And my family was still down in Vegas, but I started selling softeners, and we put the house up for sale in Vegas, and because it was an assumable loan, I was able to sell it pretty quickly. I took a little bit of a loss though, still got a little bit of money back, and then come to southern Utah. Well, because my credit was bad, I had to I kept applying for places to rent, and nobody would rent to me. So what I did is I kept looking in the paper, and I found a trailer house that a guy would basically financed me on for 5 years, and it ended up keeping my payments about $200 lower per month than what I would have probably paid for a place to rent. Well, this is the place that I moved to. This is the actual picture. It looked a little bit different when we had it. It looks like these people painted it since we sold it. I think it's been sold a few times, and it's changed up a little bit. But this was a little single wide, 14 by 70, so 980 square feet. It was kind of it was a dive on the inside for sure. Master bedroom was up front here, and man, the wind blows here in Hurricane during the winter like you can't believe, and these walls are like 2 inches thick, and it would be so loud there at night. It sounded like the whole trailer house was going to blow away. It's hard to keep this place warm in the winter, even though we don't live in a place that's all that cold. But you might be able to hear some of my family in the background. Life goes on. I think they're in watching Family Guy or something. But anyway, so I was able to buy this for sale by owner and get it for owner financing. And basically in 5 years, I paid it off. Well, just before the 5 years was up, I did find after going through a couple of not so good jobs, I found a decent job in St. George and just worked really hard. Decided I'd work all the overtime they asked so I could start putting some money away, get myself, in a position to where maybe I could get a house again. And so I did some research, and I found a local guy, a mortgage guy that was pretty good at helping people clean up their credits. So I worked with the guy, and I was kind of amazed that just how much he was able to help me clean up my credit in a short amount of time. Well, I found out the company I was working for was going to shut down. They gave us this, probably I think it was about a half a year notice. And I'm like, man, if I don't get into a house now, who knows? I don't know what job I'm going to get. I know I'd qualify for something now, at least money-wise, at least on paper. It looked good because I was making good money for a few years. So what I did is we just happened to see an ad in the paper, and I went and looked at a house where a guy was owner financing. It was a really nice house, and just happened to get talking to the contractor, and he pretty much built the whole house by himself. He would just build a house pretty much by himself and then sell it. And he owned about 5 lots in this one neighborhood. And so the house that we went and looked at was just too much out of my price range. I liked it, everything looked good, but it was just too much money at the time. So I kind of got an idea to see if he would help me. I would help him build a house. I knew he was going to build another house once that one sold. So once he sold it, I just basically hit him up with a question like, hey, if I came out and worked with you every day and build a house, could we work out a deal that I could buy it for a certain price, and then if I don't qualify, you only have to pay me so much per hour? Well, after thinking about that, he decided to take me up on the offer, and he said for every hour I put in, he would pay me $10 an hour. So we'd get the house built twice as fast, or close to twice as fast as what he normally did, and he would only have to pay me $10 an hour if I didn't qualify for the house. And then we worked out a deal of what I could buy the house for. Well, so at the time I was working graveyards, so I'd get off about 7 o'clock in the morning. I go right over to where we were building the house at, and this is the house we were working on. It was this gray house here. Basically, I went over every morning 5 days a week. Took us 3.5 months to build this house, which I thought was pretty good. It worked out pretty good. This was a 1,975 square foot house, 2-car garage. It had 5 bedrooms and 2 baths. It was just a nice little 1-level house. But when we got to end and it was time for me to close on this house, I had a friend that was in the mortgage business, and he submitted, he helped me write up everything and submitted the paperwork and stuff, and they turned me down. And I'm like, oh no. Well, I called the guy that helped me clean up my credit because he really knew the mortgage game, and he said that he figured he thought he could get us in the loan, and needless to say, he did. I was truly grateful for his knowledge of how the whole system worked, and he was able to get us financed. I was able to buy this house for about $113,000, and which I was pretty happy about, and it appraised immediately. So 113,000. It appraised for about 135, 140,000. So immediately we had about $25,000 equity. So in 3.5 months, working part-time helping him build this house, I ended up with about 25 grand equity. And if I wouldn't have been able to qualify, the owner of this, or the guy that helped me, the contractor, would have only had to basically pay me about $8,000. I think I had about 800 hours into this project, so he would have had to pay me $8,000. So it was a much better deal for me that I qualified. Well, we lived in this house about 5 years, and we decided we wanted to design a house and build our own house, and just see what that was like. I wanted to do an owner builder. Well, I went and talked to a few mortgage guys, kind of finding out the process, and I happened to just run across a guy again that was really knowledgeable, and says, well, this is how you need to look at your numbers. This is what the bank's going to want to see, and this is how you go about it. Well, when you do an owner builder, you're basically going out on a limb. You got to have the plans, so we had to have the plans designed up, put that money out before we even got going, So we spent a few thousand. We got some plans drawn up and started kind of starting the process. Well, then the bank told me, is like, well, you can't be an owner builder because you've never truly did one before on your own. You have to have a contractor involved. So again, I just kind of thought about it. I went decided to go talk to the guy that helped me build this house, and again just kind of propose an idea to him. I says, hey, I need a contractor on. I can't afford to pay all the fees. I says I'll do everything. I'll get all the bids. I'll do everything to manage the project. You just keep me in line, like when I need to do my inspections and stuff like that. So how it kind of worked out is I says, and I'll help you frame the house, and so you can have the profit, because framing a house, it's just all profit for the carpenter or whatever. And so he helped me frame the house, and basically got that money, and that was kind of his contractor's fee, plus I think I paid him another couple grand or something. But by having him on board, I was able to pretty much go build my own house. And again, this is the house that we end up building right here. It's the house we're in right now. We've been in this house 7 years. Again, we're kind of getting a hankering to maybe design another house, and maybe go for it again and see what we can do, and just go from there. But like I say, things happen in life. We went from bankruptcy. We changed where we was living. I lived in a trailer. I took a step back for 5 years, living in a single wide trailer with 5 kids. Worked hard, got myself back in a position to where I could build another house. Sometimes we just have to come up with ideas, and just propose those out to people and see what we can do, and see if we can get things done. And what I'd like you to do right now is, I'm kind of working online. And have I tore it up online? No, I've learned a lot, and I've made a little bit of money. But that's kind of my next thing in life, is I want to take my income to another level. Me and my wife do pretty good. We both work for a large corporation, and we both work at the same place, but we still want more. We want to be able to travel more. We want more free time, and I'm looking for some people to to kind of go with me, that I can help, and we can make 2013 a much financially a much better situation for for you, and maybe for your family. What I'd like you to do is on this just to the left of this video, or below this video, is a description box. I just left a link in there. If you'd like to learn how to start blogging and learn how you can turn that blogging into some extra money, just go ahead and just click that link now and get started. Any time in life, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. I was living in that trailer. I wanted to get out of that trailer. I needed something bigger for my family. I just started looking. I started looking for things. I didn't know quite if I could get into a house with my credit. I saw a guy that was offering to finance somebody, and just by taking that action and going and talking with that individual, even though I couldn't afford the house at the time that he was selling, it basically led to the idea is, hey, would you help me build a house if I came over and helped you? And it just all worked out. Seemed like for the better. Sometimes we never know that decision we make, just how that's going to work out. So what I'm saying is just, take a look at your life. I mean, sometimes you do have to step back and just, take a step back and then move back ahead. Click on that link. Let's get started. Let's get you moving in another direction. You don't know what the future is going to be. Maybe a year from now you're making $10,000 to $15,000 a month. Maybe you're not. Maybe you make nothing. I don't know. There's no guarantees. But the worst thing that could happen is you could gain some experience. You could learn how some marketing techniques online that can help you maybe land a better job or something. Everything you do where you step out and learn something creates new opportunities for you. Just like this, another thing is maybe I'll go take some other pictures, but by me going through this process of building this house by myself, it took a lot of work, it took a lot of extra effort and stuff, but I was able to go out and build another spec home and turn around and sell that and make about me and my friend built it together, and we each made about 10 grand. And then I was able to go out and find another house that wasn't quite completed and talk the bank into loaning me the money, and turn around. And I did that with another friend, and again we turned around and made about 20 grand. So you never know those things in life, where you learn a new skill, where you step out of your comfort zone, that's going to lead to maybe something better down the road. By doing this house, I learned some skills, some things on how to outsource work. I didn't have to do all the work on this house to build it. I had people that knew what they were doing come and build it. And that's some of the things we can do online. You don't have to be a tech guru or anything to make money online. There's many things that you can outsource and have somebody do for you, and then you just do the things that you're good at, and you can turn that into some extra money. So go ahead, take it, reach out, take a chance. Hit that link on the left. Enter your email address. That's all it takes is just enter your email address, and then when you get that, just grab the link and let's get started. Let's get you moving forward. Let's show you how to start marketing online and making some extra money for 2013. So you have a great day. Thanks. Sorry, see, even I can mess up there. So we'll stop it.